Let's talk about Albert Pujols for a minute. Albert Pujols, the machine himself, has now successfully eclipsed Barry Bonds at having homered off of 650 different pitchers. It's very exciting for the MLB historians who don't want to talk about Barry Bonds ever again. This is one step closer. That's really exciting for them. It's also a super funky, unique stat that I really like, that he's homered off of 650 unique pitchers over what has been an amazing career. So congratulations on that. However, as of right now, he has 695 career home runs. That's amazing. He's 5 away from reaching the 700 club, and that's where we all want him to be. I don't care what you're a fan of. If you're a fan of baseball, you should be rooting for Albert Pujols to hit 5 more home runs. You just should.
You should. You're right. So do you think he'll get it, Brig?
Yeah.
5 home runs in a month?
Yeah. Do you?
I think he will too. I actually saw something over the weekend where somebody, it was either on the radio when I was driving with my dad last weekend, or I read something online. I can't remember which one it was, but people were saying like teams are throwing a bunch of rookies out there and letting them lob stuff up to Pujols, or guys are just grooving stuff for him so that he can progress in the record books.
I've heard that.
I've also heard an interesting take.
I wanted to ask you about that because what I heard was a little more nefarious, that Major League Baseball was allowing him to bend some of these rules, or maybe offered him a cork bat or any number of things in order to make sure he does. I don't see that being the reality, but again, I'm holding to the ideal that I don't want it to be the reality. But I don't think so. If it's not systemic from a league perspective, then I think it could be systemic socially, like you're saying. I don't see that being outside the realm of possibility at all.
Yeah, that they want this guy who's been clean his entire career to move up in the record books. And the other thing I heard was that Major League Baseball is using juiced baseballs in Cardinals games.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
And I think that is actually likely because we've heard guys talk about how primetime games, the baseball feels a little bit different.
Yeah, well, and I think that, that there's no transaction required with Albert Pujols that would potentially indict him or violate his integrity. He doesn't put him in a compromised position at all to just supply the game with a different baseball. If you asked him to have a corked bat, or if you gave him an opportunity to, bend the rules with a substance or who knows what, as we have seen and heard being bandied around online, the reason I dispel those, and I want to dispel those thoughts and conspiracy theories, is because those require a transactional relationship with the man himself. And I don't think he's willing to put himself in that position. I don't think the league is going to put him in a position to have to make that decision. But supplying the team or the games, the umpires with, these balls that are maybe a little hot, that I can see. And teams deciding to groove him a couple here and there, that I can see. Because it in no way indicts him. None.
Right. Exactly.
He's just going to go up there and swing it.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right with that, because the risk of him swinging a corked bat is so high, not only for him, but for the game of baseball itself. Because Sammy Sosa broke one corked bat and it was over. Yep. Nobody believed that he hit a legitimate home run in his entire career. And it went, and he fed the line like, oh, it's a batting practice bat. And I got confused. Even if it was, everybody's like, no, that's not how that works. That doesn't happen.
And Tatis is in the same spot right now. Fernando Tatis Jr. is now, we're all sitting there wondering like, oh, geez, man, maybe all of the things we thought about you were fabricated.
Yeah. Yep.
There's just no word. It's not worth the risk.
Did you see the picture of Tatis the other day? Somebody showed it had like a side-by-side image. One was Tatis as a rookie, and one was him during spring training this last year. So the one of his rookie season, I think he was wearing a cutoff t-shirt, just like a regular like cutoff t-shirt. And then the one from spring training this year was like almost like a halter top, like the way that it was cut. It was cut around the neck and then like down. Like across his chest and everything, kind of like a raglan sleeve. Yeah. And he was way bigger in the second picture than he was in the first. I was like, oh yeah, there it is. That'll do it.
Well, that's not helping. Now, Photoshop goes a long way, and for those of you that know Victoria's Secret, like I do, you know that a lot can happen there. Anyway, we're excited about Albert Pujols. Baseball family, we want to know what you think about these conspiracy theories. Are we off base here? Do you think as bad as corked? Do you think he's in cahoots with the league to make sure that it all stays under wraps and he gets the record and we all go about our merry way thinking it's all done cleanly? Or do you think that that this is a social decision based on pitchers and managers and pitching coaches and his buddies around the league making it happen for him? Or is this pure? Is this 100% they're just doing their job, he's just doing his job, and he's making it happen? Some of the numbers are interesting, though. Since the break, things have spiked for him, and that's where all these conspiracy theories come from. So they're not all the way baseless. Something may be going on. That's what I think is important to say that.
I will say this. This is something I feel like is important to consider with this, is that I don't think you necessarily need a corked bat, juice baseballs, or guys grooving to him, given his schedule for the rest of the season. Nats, Pirates, Milwaukee, Cincinnati, and then you've got San Diego, LA, and then you've got the Brewers again. But then he finishes out the season with 6 games against the Pirates. He might hit 6 home runs in those 2 series.
Exactly. Yeah.
So he doesn't exactly have a juggernaut of a schedule or a gauntlet of a schedule coming up. So he could very well hit 10 home runs between now and the end of the season without any help.
He could. I wouldn't be surprised. I also wouldn't be surprised if he gets to 700 and they bench him and he gets a rest up for October. I wouldn't be surprised by that either.
Wouldn't be surprised either.
We'll see what happens.